Hello, and welcome back. So there's this dish that I've been wanting to try for a long time. It is a little bit more of a complicated recipe. It has 34 steps. It is quite a lot of steps, so I am just mentally preparing myself with a very nice breakfast, very indulgent breakfast. Honestly, it was exactly what I needed. No better way to start the day. As somebody who grew up being a huge Harry Potter fan, I was really excited when I found this recipe. I just remember being so wowed by it. I really want to see if I can do it too. It just looks incredible. First thing I'm making is the sorbet, and I just love making ice cream. I love making ice cream at home. Starting by making a mess. I also learned this hack a little while ago where you can actually use an egg to help determine whether your sorbet is the perfect consistency. Yay. My ice cream machine is probably one of the most used kitchen gadgets I have at home. Absolutely love it. It's great for summer. I feel like I've just played around with so many different ice cream flavors, sorbet flavors. It's great. The next thing I'm trying to do is to make the wings of the Golden Snitch, which in my opinion is one of the most beautiful things about it. Dark muscovado sugar, butter, and honey. There is no way it's not going to be good. Also very excited about this feather mold I got, because I just loved its design. And I'm cutting it because that will make it easier for me to remove the cookies later. The batter also became a lot thicker after I put it in the fridge, which was very interesting to me. It's kind of like the texture of wax. Is that a weird comparison to make? Visually, it looks super satisfying though. Even if I was a little nervous about making a mess. But really though, look at this detail. The trickiest thing about this though is that you have to work really, really fast once it comes out of the oven. I almost burnt my fingers here, I think, but I was trying to be really careful at the same time. tried to shape it a little bit more, and then I realized that I just needed to stop. I just needed to stop messing with it. I clearly felt more confident as we went on. This was the best part though. Kind of just brushing on that gold powder, making sure that it was completely, fully covered in gold dust. The next thing is to make the body of the ball, which is essentially a mousse, caramel in the center, and then a chocolate coating. The first thing I'm making is the white chocolate brown butter mousse, which sounds as amazing as it tastes. Just the brown butter alone already smelled so good. I'm usually not the biggest fan of white chocolate, but as I was melting this down, my kitchen just smelled so incredible. I'm also using these titanium grade gelatin sheets that are super clear. It's pretty cool. I wasn't sure what kind of texture I was looking for, but I just let that cool to the side for now. The next thing to do was to make the caramel filling on the inside. Very excited to show you guys my new milk carton container. This is its debut in my video. And that, my friends, is just straight up glucose. It's just glucose. The caramel also asks for tonka beans, which I have never tried before. It smells very interesting. It has like a woodsy, spicy, almost nutmeggy scent. And while that's heating up, I'm just going back to my white chocolate mousse, adding some cream in there. Giving it a little taste, of course. I just have to chill it so I can whip it up later and put it in a piping bag. Also, yes, I am enlisting the help of my friend, the stand mixer. And now I'm ready to pipe into these little dome-shaped molds. All that detail. It seems kind of tedious, but I actually really enjoy this process. It makes me feel like I'm working at a fancy dessert shop. There's also a lot of going back and forth between the mousse and the caramel. I'm back at the caramel here. Also, I have a little new friend. His name is Sebastian. He's great at holding utensils for me usually. And there it is. beginnings of my caramel. Seeing how the mixture changes with each ingredient I add really does make me feel like I'm in potions class. I mean, really, this whole process here, it does feel like I'm making a potion, doesn't it? Let this cool while I stepped out to meet some friends, but the tonka bean flavors definitely came through though. Now going back to my mousse, I'm just using a melon ball cutter. Did this little scooping motion that was also very satisfying, actually. Piping the caramel in makes me feel a little bit like a chocolatier. Just a little bit. And while the little mousse domes are resting in the fridge, I'm just getting started on the chocolate ganache, and of course getting a little snack first. We're just giving the chocolate a light roast. They look a little funky right here, but they smell great, I promise. I also usually like going with more bittersweet chocolates, especially when it's paired with something sweet like, white chocolate. There's also gelatin in this. Look at how bouncy it is. This also just looks like some really thick hot chocolate, the really rich and creamy kind that I was so tempted to have a little bit of. Hide it, made a little bit of a splatter on my shirt, but we did it. Ready. The other chocolate part I have to make is the chocolate coating, which is just some cocoa butter and chocolate. Speaking of my mousse domes, they are set. This was so satisfying, just popping it out. Wow. Okay. Pushing them together to form a ball. Look at how perfectly round it is, and how almost instantly that chocolate coat forms. Also, really at this point, it's like ready to eat. I would totally eat it like this, but I resisted, of course. Okay, now this is the other really magical part. I don't know if you can kind of see the gold dust kind of floating in the air. This was truly magical. The other really cool part is to make the white chocolate snow. Caramelizing it in a microwave does take a lot of patience though. I am not the most patient person. Caramelized white chocolate has this wonderful sort of toffee note. And this is the part where we transform it into snow. Powdery fresh snow. And here we are, ready to finally plate this up. Starting with a big scoop of sorbet. I don't know if it's obvious, but my hands were actually shaking pretty bad at this point. I was very nervous. Feathers are also very fragile, so I had to be super careful. But it's slowly coming together. Adding on some of that snow, and here it is. Look at that detail. This took maybe 72 hours to make and like 10 seconds to destroy. But I really enjoyed this. It had amazing flavor. I'm really glad I finally got to do this. Thank you all for joining me on this journey. I'll see you all next time. Bye.